Okay, good to go? I'm always amazed that all of you get together and do all this. You know what I mean? Like it's mind blowing because you all show up 1 hour before and then you all do all this and then we come and we're like and it's done. Like thanks, dude, for that. Anyway, guys, welcome to Akash and Friends. It is yet another episode on the podcast. Thank you for coming, Vaibhav.
Thanks for having me over.
If you don't know who Vaibhav is, you can check out his videos. They are here.
Yeah,
They'll
it's
come
my
here.
claim to everything.
Yeah,
all that you need to know about me is just that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all that is interesting about me.
See, that's the rest is this podcast. No?
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. If you're interested after watching those videos, please do. Come back. This is just going to be 6.5 hours, so that's alright. I have very few things to say. I say them really slowly.
I usually do this thing where I say, oh, the last time I met you, and then I do a recap of rather what happened.
Yeah.
But it's been like less than 12 hours, right?
Less than 12 hours. Actually, we were playing poker last night.
Yeah, and I don't usually play poker, but you are very good at it, dude. Like, you know all the hands also.
Yeah, that's not. That's really nice if you know that. It's like you telling someone कि देखो credit के rules पता है तो बहुत अच्छा खेल लेता है.
No, but you seem you know what I don't understand about poker? I am looking at my cards and I am playing, like I play usually with a group of people for 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
So for me it's like first 2 times I come, I lose everything I have.
Yeah.
And then I understand, okay, this is the table. This is the people who play with me. This is what their call, their giveaways are, and then so on. And then I recover the money in the 4th month, and then I find.
I have very little gauge of how people play or whatever, so I just keep on playing whatever I play.
No, but you have such knowledge of, like you calculate
played
also.
a bunch of times, so I can understand that what are the odds of something right now that I have on my hand, whether it'll be winning or not. But that apart from that, I don't think I have any gauge. So I play with my wife almost on a every 2-3 times a week, because every time we have a batch of clothes to fold. That's how we divide house chores. Yeah, house chores.
Hey, this is great.
Yeah.
So
we've stopped buying water bottles now because there was a time I got 75 bottles down. So then we just stopped playing poker. We were like, fuck it, we'll get a matka. Bottles is just not feasible.
What bottles? You used
water bottles.
2-liter bottles of water?
Yeah, so we were like, jaake bharo pura wapas, and then became a thing that me and my wife both have to do. And we both hate it. So it's like the kapda from ATM. We can't stop wearing clothes. So
when you're playing for chores, what is the buy-in?
There's no buy-in. So we take 500,000 chips, 500 chips each. And we take a 15-minute thing.
Yeah.
So after 15 minutes, whoever has more chips or the other person is wiped out.
This is not fair, because yesterday when I asked you how often you play, you said, I play once a month.
Yeah, but heads up, like with wife.
Practice is practice.
By the way, 2.5. Yeah, fair enough. But 2.5 months, I've not lost. I've lost all my games with my wife. All my games. So I have no gauge of how or what she's playing. I have been folding clothes for 2.5 months. And every day, and trust me, there are times when there are clothes you don't know how to fold. Okay?
Yeah.
Because if there's a longer dress, if there's a kurti, if there's a western dress, anything that is not cotton is not foldables apparently.
Yeah.
होता ही नहीं है कि वो ऐसे करो, फिर उसमें भी एक और fold. I'm like, shit, how do I make a rectangle out of this? It's so difficult to make it into a rectangle
kind of situation.
और ऐसा लगता है सब करने के बाद उठा के यहाँ से यहाँ रखो और वो खुल जाता है. ऐसे गिर जाता है यार. I'm like, how do I fucking do this? I have no idea.
But does it ever happen to you, like you're folding delicates and then you realize ये इतना छोटा कैसे हो सकता है? Like even with the tops and all, like ये इतना ही तो है.
Yeah.
And you're looking at it like तू तो इतनी नहीं है.
There are times when I tell my wife that बच्चों के section में बड़ा वाला जो biggest size है, I have like bought t-shirts for her from there.
Yeah. I have friends who still as adults buy shoes from the kids section at shoe store.
As adults?
Shoes. Yeah.
Wow, like size 7 or something?
Size 4, bro. Yeah, and it's great because I always gift them shoes.
Do they like wearing shoes on their hands or something? Like, 4 number का जूता किसका होता है यार? ये तो Tyrion Lannister क्या?
No, it's just it's actually very nice for me because I get to buy them really nice shoes. Like an Adidas Stan Smith shoe is like 4
grand. I'm never an adult person with size 4.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm amazed every day, and I take that's why I get very happy. Because I go and I buy myself a pair of shoes, and then I buy my friends like 2-3 pairs of shoes in the same amount of money because they're from the kids section.
Yeah.
And they'll never outgrow them. I'm like, when you're bored, give me. I'll give it to my nephew for a while.
Yeah.
He can
That's
wear
so
it.
odd, man. The person just walking 4 feet. Like अगर वो bell bottoms पहनेगा तो उसके पाँव दिखेंगे ही नहीं.
But I would assume that the bell bottoms would be higher.
Higher? Are they? I don't know.
I don't know.
I just know they have a flare sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. Flowy thing going on.
The conical design there.
I have no idea why
It's like
Salman Khan still
the
wears
opening
it.
of a wormhole. It's like,
Yeah.
and then things can get sucked in.
Somehow, like, I feel like it's just ugly. It's one of the ugliest kind of pants that
Bell bottoms?
I hate them. I personally hate them. I worn them like around 15 years back.
Yeah.
And I absolutely hate them. Hated them then, hated them now. So.
Where are you? Are you done touring now? Or are you going to go back on tour?
So I've never really like technically toured as such कि हाँ ये मेरा tour है because I just keep doing like 4 to 5 shows every month no matter what. So I'm like
Of the solo show. That
yeah, no matter which time of the year, I'm always doing 4, 5, like almost 4 of the weekends. Mine are in either in Mumbai or Delhi, Bangalore.
Yeah.
Pune.
तो 8
Amongst
shows
these
हो
4
जाता है.
cities तो हो ही कुछ ना कुछ
वो तो
करेगा.
करना ही चाहिए मेरे हिसाब से.
Yeah, I feel like I announce it once and then I come back over there after like 3 weeks. Then it's like I'm announcing मैं आ रहा हूँ. Oh मैं फिर आ रहा हूँ.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah.
So I just keep on doing मैं आ रहा हूँ, मैं आ रहा हूँ, मैं आ रहा हूँ, मैं आ रहा हूँ, मैं आ रहा हूँ.
I usually because there are different shows now, so I'll be like, hey, now I'm coming for Dark.
Yeah.
So like if you
Oh,
came
yeah.
for the last one, this is your chance to come for the
Yeah,
next
yeah.
one, and then sometimes I'll add 2 specials on the same day.
Yeah.
So then the people who missed out the
Oh, that's nice.
first,
It's the first time I'm doing that actually. My first time ever that I have 2 shows to perform straight.
love it.
Like yeah, it's a great luxury to have. And I also feel like it's more like it's easier for the organizers. It's easier for me. I
Yeah.
get 2 hours of stage time on the same
That
day.
is the best part.
So that's
And it's the same
really
show
nice.
back to back, so
Yeah.
you're in real time.
I'm doing one in Pune abhi. So I'm doing my previous show, that one that I'm going to release soon.
Yeah.
And there's a new show that I've like written. So that also I'm doing a trial show also.
Where are you paid?
No, it's this Cube sort of Cube or
Cube.
what's the name of the place?
Cube.
Pratik from he
Yeah.
has the place. In
Ah,
Pune.
that's sorted, dude.
Yeah, I like Pune. I like Bangalore a lot. Bangalore.
What do you think is what is your logic for why Bangalore is? I think arguably Bangalore I think is the best city right
To
now
perform stand-up,
for
right?
live stand-up.
Yeah,
Right?
I think
Not for
Mumbai-
open mics, but for everything else.
I mean, like, I can understand why we really like Bombay, some of the comics, and most of the comics would like Bombay because one is that Bombay is really, like, people really come to shows. Like, a lot of people come to shows in Bombay,
Yeah.
and no matter how frequently you do it, they're still there. Mumbai somehow this like
You
too
mean
many
Bangalore?
people. Yeah, Bangalore.
Huh.
Mumbai now, comparatively, I feel like there are shows. So
Saturation wise.
for the past year and a half, I think about a year and a half ago, someone made me notice about this that every day of the weekend. So not
Amit
like,
Panya made you notice this.
I think so.
Yeah, it's
But it makes sense.
It is. It's
But ever
insane.
since, yeah, it's insane.
We should explain what the point is. Because,
Yeah. So every day of the weekend. That's not like including Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every Friday, every Saturday, and every Sunday, there is at least 20 to 25 shows happening in Mumbai.
And
it's including mics, including 1,000-seater auditoriums, including 5-seater rooms.
But you can't even tell a mic from a real
People
show.
don't know.
Because people don't publicize also.
I have a feeling people have very little gauge as to what a theme show, a trial show, or a dark show, or anything else is.
Yeah.
Very little gauge on what that is. People just pay that, okay, fine, I like the guy or whatever.
It's the face.
I like a person who's performing, and then I'm just gonna go and try it out.
Yeah, it's been a big problem.
And no matter how much you explain, even if you go there before a trial and you just explain कि ये trial है, मैं कुछ try कर रहा हूँ, हो सकता है incomplete हो joke. They're like, हाँ तो हमने तो पैसे दिए ना.
But I think that's a good idea. That's a good thing for the audience because I don't want them to go soft on me.
Yeah.
Like I don't want them to give me a pity laugh. Oh, I know this is not joke is not there, but I'll clap because you are
absolutely, absolutely.
But
ट्रायल शो में तो वही मतलब सेव लाइंस अगर नहीं है तो फिर बहुत बार it's so funny how when jokes tank it brings out the toughest moment for you and then if you can keep going at it like पता है कि अभी तो 2 जोक और हैं जिनका ending नहीं है so you have to find something.
This is what happened once at Havana. We were doing a show together, a dark show,
Yeah.
and nobody had come to watch a dark show.
Yeah.
And I went and did a dark set. anyway, because I was like, dark show, मेरे को dark ही करने का है, and then I tanked horribly. In like a room with 150 people all there for the show, and then you went on and you were like, हाँ पर लोग तो है, so you started doing regular material and you crushed, and that was a good call on your part. वरना तो पूरा night fuck हो जाता.
There are times when honestly I don't understand how to do much of dark or what is dark also, like anything apart from death or something which is like socially unacceptable, थोड़ा सा बात करना, like you know death हो गया. Death के अलावा ना बहुत कम topics है जिसके around घूमो तो people would feel like कि हाँ this is dark. Like you have an hour-long show. I have no idea what kind of topics you brush through that.
It's three things. The first is accepting that you're not a good person.
It don't go get philosophical. Give me like what?
No, that's the show. These are the premises. These are the three premises of the show. One is you're not a good person, so you have to accept as an audience member that you're not a good person. So then I do bits to support that argument.
Yeah, that I'm a bad person, and that's
that's okay.
Yeah, it's that's okay sort of a anti-social thing. So yeah, maybe you fall in dark. Yeah.
Then no, I make it like there are ways in which you can say what you fantasize in your head about the people around you, as opposed to what you actually act out is so different. So maybe you're not a nice person.
Okay.
The second thing is don't try to be nice, because nicer people will fuck you for being nice.
Yeah.
The minute you're nice on Twitter, 15 people will say, "Oh, 6 months पहले तो तू ये था." So then there's no point. And then the third point is you need to do you need to reconcile both of these things because death is coming.
Okay.
So then it kind of caps off with death, and then each thing is kind of reflected back in each bit about death. So I talk about killing, like death in the family. I talk about death as a concept, like just genocide and why it's a great idea. Which is
I remember, yeah.
And then the third thing I talk about is killing yourself.
Okay.
Like the last
2 sides, whatever.
Yeah. How would one like why it's like how I tried what I learned from trying.
Yeah.
The do's and don'ts of suicide.
Yeah.
Like for example, the do's, be considerate to your family. The don'ts, don't kill yourself. And the good part is that I do it with my twin brother. So my twin brother Prakash comes and he does the rest of the hour. And there's a whole life story around Prakash, because he's.
Does he say I killed Akash?
No, so his wife actually left him for a tax lawyer in Rajasthan.
Wow.
And it's really messing with him because she fat shamed him a lot in the marriage. And he lost a lot of weight because of that, because he was constantly being fat shamed by his own wife.
Yeah.
And then she's now sleeping with and trying to get married to this
his
fat.
color is blue. Just add details for no reason.
Yeah,
just me and
and now his wife is marrying a fat tax lawyer, so it's really like weighing on him. So that also comes out throughout the show. बीच बीच में वो बोलता है साली छोड़ के चली गई ना.
I have a very non-dark way. I feel like there are times when I have a couple of like dark jokes in my set.
You have one joke which is deceptively dark, I feel.
One is about Hersfans and all. The one Death Dadaji ka.
The one about kids.
Oh yeah. So maybe that comes under
the idea of buying a kid, the idea of renting a kid, of messing up the kid for the next set of parents, of not the worry of responsibility ki ye chutta nikla to. Like those are great. Like those are genuinely dark thoughts, because they're not thoughts that you would.
Yeah, usually. But yeah, I mean, I never see people pull back on that, so I don't know if it's that dark. Because but maybe I do it right. I'm doing it right. Yeah, I'm doing it right. Maybe.
Yeah.
I have this one bit about like Dadaji dying and the need for Hersfans, basically, the ones that carried it. So I talk about that. That's one bit which I feel like it's on the dark side. I can see people pull back and then I get them back. It's so difficult. Like,
but it's fun also.
It's fun.
It's such a joy to lose them, get them back, lose them.
I lose them. There's another joke which is not funny yet, but it's hilarious. I feel I do this one part where I say that
I love that jokes can be both at the same time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like, I know that people find it funny, but not laughing funny, and they're like, say more and we're gonna be with you. But I still don't have the joke beyond that. I say something around like how I was molested as a kid. I was like 15 years back.
I know this bit.
And then I say that कुछ खास फर्क नहीं पड़ा. So which is pretty like
Hey, what are you doing after this?
Actually, I was planning to go play chess. Yeah.
You played basketball in the morning. You played chess. By the way, do you talk about being from IIT? On stage? I don't think people. A lot of people don't know you're an IIT grad.
I feel like it's a little saying that kind of like gives a preconceived notion in terms of people. There are times when you rush that like now I'm going to show off or something.
Right.
That I've been academically been successful academically or something.
Hugely successful.
Yeah, but like that's what I don't really want that for my set, so I've never found a way to use it. And besides, anything I say, it's not going to make a difference whether I'm from IIT or not. So
yeah, no, but I think it adds to your perspective so much more. I mean,
it might get me a few more college shows in IITs. But yeah,
how was Roorkee though?
There are times when Roorkee was super fun, man. I really like the campus. The campus especially. It was so IIT Roorkee was actually the first engineering college made in Asia.
Really?
Yeah, 1857. India ka first civil engineering college. I don't know about Asia. I think civil engineering college Asia ka first tha. There was a canal or something. Either Asia or India or something like that. There was a canal which they had to build Ganga se pura connect karte hue pani ko, and then that's why they made the. So I used to live in the hostel which was made by the Britishers for those people. That's the oldest hostel, Kotle Bhavan. Kotle was the name of the guy or whatever. It was insane. So I remember clearly, like, especially being an architecture student, I really appreciated that. So my room's door, this is the corridor, right? There are all the rooms on this side, and this is like, there's nothing. Like, there's another building in front, but this is the corridor, and there's the parapet, right? And above the parapet, there's this another chajja sort of a. There's a, what do you call it? Shit, I forgot. Canopy, right?
Canopy. Okay.
There's a canopy sort of a thing, cement canopy for the upar ka floor ka shade, for shading. Now, the sun, wherever it used to go, when it was ending, like in the day when it was about to set, the last sun rays, till it's harsh, would come to the last wall ka thickness of my room. My small window which opens in the corridor, the thickness of the wall, the shade used to end at that edge. That's how much precision they calculated the...
God.
Yeah, so they were very... they were really nice. And it's a great campus. It's I feel the location was also great. Like, it was so...
वादियों में हो ना तुम literally.
Uttarakhand, yeah. Rishikesh, I've gone to Dehradun to have dinner. I used to go to Dehradun to have dinner. It's like 60 minutes away.
My manager is from Dehradun, so I've been like hearing about it throughout, and he's been constantly telling me जाते शो करता. I'm actually going first time next week.
Oh, it's great, insane food. By the way, रास्ते में कोई भी ढाबे पे रुक के खा लो. Just incredible fresh food.
Yeah.
And Rishikesh.
तेरे को खाना बहुत पसंद है. I like how much you like food. You know that? Like I vicariously enjoy food through you sometimes.
Yeah. Dude, you're from Bombay. You have to enjoy food. It's so strange. I've never seen such a contrast between people who like people who like Bombay ka food, the street food especially. They tend to not like Calcutta या बाकी जगह का food उतना ज़्यादा. Somehow, like I've seen a few people कुछ चीजें अच्छी लगी, but especially pani puri. Like my bhabhi, she's from Bombay. Yeah. Now she lives in Calcutta, unfortunately. But yeah, she lives in Calcutta, and she's always like, you know, ये क्या बेकार है. And then I hate Bombay pani puri, by the way. Like,
because of the ragda.
I feel like, you know, already pani वो पुदीना वाला मेरे को नहीं भाता है. First of all, that is the first thing that मेरे को पानी पसंद कम है, green रंग वाला. मेरे को brown वाला इमली का पानी ज़्यादा पसंद है, जो कि Calcutta पुचका है. Second thing, the masala.
But there are both.
It's fika aloo with fika bundi. And I'm like, there's too much fika. Like, थूक की सब्जी बना रहे हो क्या कर रहे हो? थूक रहा हो क्या मुंह में? सब फीका क्या डाल दिया? कुछ मसाला भी तो डालो ना.
But the ragda has flavor.
Ragda, you mean the bundi, right? The bundi.
Yeah.
Well, it's soaked in water, so if you eat ragda or whatever, the bundi, it's almost flat. Like, there's barely much taste in it. There's namkeenish, which is very slight, but because water ka itna dominating taste hai that there's
That's true. I agree. But
the Calcutta puchka, on the other hand, it's mashed aloo. And it's a lot of spices. Masala and ye and chana and all that.
That's what's making the difference.
Yeah. So at times यहाँ पे मूंग डाल देते. मैंने देखा और फीकापन.
So that's actually.
तुम्हें पता ही नहीं कि it's like someone, अगर कोई समझो तुम्हारे घर पे पालक और भिंडी की सब्जी बना रही है. It's like you don't even know what things go together.
Bhindi is my favorite. But
same mix करके पालक और भिंडी की सब्जी कौन बनाता है?
But I think that's a bastardization of how it's made in Gujarat. So in
Gujarat, I have a feeling there's
influence.
There's a very strong influence of the Gujarati puchka over here.
In fact, I wish there was more, because in Gujarat you will never get only one kind of pani. There will be at least 8 different kinds of pani.
I love that hinga pani and all that. I like those actually. So then that's great.
And they have these great ladles, you know, like they remove it and the ladle has a little hole underneath. So they dip it and then the puri is under the ladle. They don't pour it in. They just hold it underneath and it fills up. Gorgeously designed.
Guju food is insane.
It's the best.
People really, if it was less oily, I would love Guju food. Like I absolutely absolutely love Guju food. I like the sweetness also. I don't mind that. It's not like I go for it all the time, but I don't mind the sweetness. But if it was just less oily, I would.
But where are you eating it is the problem.
Yeah, I know. So most of the times I've eaten at like
restaurants
chota places, because when I was traveling in Gujarat.
Right.
So
with Manan, no, you must have gone to
parents और के साथ कभी so religious places और ये सब में गए वहाँ पे बहुत अच्छा खाना, especially veg के लिए. Veg के लिए गुजरात तो becomes just the place to go, man. नहीं तो
they really know that shit. I think a lot of the oil items in Gujarat, they don't actually put the oil while cooking.
Yeah.
They put the oil after cooking.
It's like thoda sa डाल देते.
No. So what happens is that they won't heat the oil.
Yeah.
So they'll make the food first and then they'll put the oil in. So what happens is the oil, the food soaks in the oil. There's some absorption, but for the most part, the oil is just hot. So it's cooking its own heat.
Okay.
It's not absorbing the oil. The oil is not reacting.
Yeah, but it's gonna go in my mouth and makes me feel like.
I agree. That can be.
There's too much oil.
तो आ कभी घर.
Yeah. So my favorite thing that I've eaten in Gujarati food is sev ki bhujia ki sabzi.
Oh, sev
ki sabzi.
Sev
ka sabzi with tomato. Oh.
Oh, but that's as much to do with Marwadis as to do with Gujarati.
It is.
Yeah,
bhujia is very hardcore Marwadi.
Yeah.
Like, so that's bhujia and papad are like two Marwadi things rooted inside me. I think I've like ran all my bhujia cycles by the time I was 19-20.
What, ran on you?
Yeah, like now if I eat bhujia, I can have issues with myself. Like if I have more than this much bhujia, like one packet bhujia जो 5 रुपए का आता है ना, if I have that, I don't feel great. I don't feel nice because I've just burned out all my. I've eaten too much bhujia. I eat like half kg of bhujia a day, something like that. Yeah, I used to eat.
Like those small bhujias or the big ones?
But not big ones I used to like. Those are special ones that मतलब हमारे घर पे आता है बीकानेर से राजस्थान में. Yeah, but Bikaneri bhujia. Bikaner especially is known for bhujia.
Yeah.
And they have this one bhujia which is like very spicy. उसके अंदर छोटे दाने बूंदी होते हैं. And which Haldiram doesn't make somehow.
Yeah.
The packets things. So I hunt for those. I get like 6 packets from my home and then that lasts for like 1 week.
One thing I've realized is whenever I crave something a lot, I tend to Instagram about it or put it out into the universe through like a podcast or something.
Yeah.
And then hope that fans see it and then bring
the
it
brand
for the next
sees
show.
it.
No, fans वो तो हो ही सकता है. But for me it's more like I always bitch about not getting home food on the road. Like my favorite cuisine is home food no matter who's home.
Absolutely, any day.
So there are people in Delhi who are so kind that they brought dabba to the show. So post show we sit, we eat from the dabba and
that is insane, man.
It's the best. It's like you're making this like relationship which is purely based on the most pure.
I just feel like I don't know if I have the balls to tell someone to अपने घर से डब्बा पैक करके
No, मैं थोड़ी बता रहा हूँ, लोग ले आते हैं यार.
Yeah, oh, that's
People
nice.
just get, and everyone knows I love bhindi.
Yeah.
You know I love bhindi.
Yeah.
So,
this podcast is gonna tell you that I have videos and that I love home food. India City.
Yeah. Okay, this is a great first half. I feel I am hungry. So we should quickly,
what do you want to have?
We are at a so firstly I'm glad you came all the way to Bhandup to do this.
Okay.
There's a great dhaba down the road. I think we should grab a bite.
Wait, you mean Bhandup in Dubai, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know the one next to Emirates.
Burj Al Arab, you mean?
Yeah, Burj Al Arab. Sorry, we'll be back. He said it's okay also. And what is? I can never get endings properly. We'll be back after a short break, or if this is on YouTube, the next video. See you in a bit. We're back with Vaibhav. Thank you for sticking around. Did you enjoy the food? I hope.
I did. It was half a mug of coffee. That was really tasty.
Yes, I'm glad. We are having trouble with the canteen currently because they are on strike. How annoyed are you really in life that so many of your bits involve you?
I have a feeling. So a lot of times, this whole annoying wala thing, I kind of felt like. So in my special also, I made this. My trailer also had this similar thing. People annoy him, animals annoy him, or whatever annoys him, and then I did that. Then I kind of felt like, maybe it's becoming my thing that I get annoyed on things, and it seems like, very minuscule things, very day-to-day things, but then they pass by your eye, and then I kind of like go deeper into them for no reason. At times for no reason, at times it becomes funny that someone's just picking on something so immaterial for a long while.
But is it a reflection of your actual state of mind, or is it just like
Obviously, a person can't be the same on stage and throughout the life. But yeah, I feel like I have this knack of. So I feel one of the things that annoys me in general, which does not annoy people, I've seen a lot of times, is any kind of inaccuracy in design, inaccuracy in especially spatial design.
Yeah.
In objects, in product design.
Light switch is not next to the door.
Yeah, like how
door handle opens the wrong way.
Like those are like still common, like somewhere where like Park Hotel Hyderabad. I think it's the worst designed hotel I've ever been in.
our DOP is from Hyderabad.
Yeah,
he's tripping like.
You've been there, right? You won't fucking believe, dude. In their room, it's a 5-star hotel room, and there is a iron beam. Which goes diagonally in the window. So in the view there is an iron beam which goes like this. Obviously family friendly, right? And there's an iron beam which from your bed you have to look towards the... And if you look here late in the night, here's an iron beam. It makes you feel... And there's a glass window. So it makes you feel like, you're in an under construction room.
Yeah.
Right? Aisa beam laga hua hai, which is not a great thing to go by if you're in a luxury place. But if you look here, then bathroom का ना इतना बड़ा एक ऐसा
दरवाजा है
नहीं bathroom का दरवाजा इतना बड़ा एक light है just this big huge circle जो कि side में ऐसे जलता है but बीच में dark है it's almost like an eclipse sort of a thing तो उधर देख तो ये और इधर देख तो चांद it's just like चांद is in your fucking face like this and it's hilarious like it's a place where I remember I went there the reception lobby is on the 3rd floor. It's not even on the 1st floor.
There are a lot of hotels like that.
But on the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
3rd floor.
Yeah. Dude, there are so many. There's a place
Oakwood Hotel. Residency. In Hyderabad again.
There's one in Chandigarh I keep going to. I forget the name. But udhar bhi, there's on the, you have to go.
Okay, so that's what. Like I'm still okay with it. Like, ठीक है, चलो कोई बात नहीं.
वो लोग का क्या होता है ना? First floor is like a nice high ceiling banquet hall.
Yeah, so exactly. That's what they're doing so that there's general entry and whatever. But the thing is, they have a swimming pool on the 3rd floor, which is not accessible from this. So if you're in the lobby, you can see the swimming pool. There's just glass walls which are all shut. I used to smoke there. So I was like, can I go and take a smoke over there? Like yeah. So I went there. ये वाला बंद. फिर मैं इधर गया ये वाला बंद. फिर मैं उधर गया वो वाला बंद. उधर गया वो वाला बंद. पूरा घूम के वापस इधर आया. नीचे तक यहाँ ये वाला बंद. Like यहाँ मैं जाना चाहता हूँ. तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ यहाँ मैं जाऊँ. तो बोल रहे सर I'm sorry ये तो पता नहीं मेरे को. आप रेस्टोरेंट के थ्रू जाइए. Go to the सामने वाला block and then go there. I'm like, you know what? I'll just go here. I'm like, sir, मैं जाके देखूँ. And then he's going, वो भी सब blocked.
But
it's insane.
But does this affect your mood in the moment?
In the moment, just for like maybe 5 seconds, and then I'm over it.
And then you can analyze that in annoyance later. Like this is the trigger point for the starting of the thought.
I feel like I'm just generally pissed off with the fact that where human race is heading towards.
I think the disdain
I'm pissed off with it.
Yeah. Disdain of humanity is important part of being a comic on some level.
Yeah.
You can't love humanity and be a comic. Like I don't think that's very possible.
I feel like the way we are heading towards in decision making in life. There's very little that we're making positive progress towards.
I agree. I think the only way is to give the AI the control. You were like, I think the first comic who moved cities because they got a job with a comic.
Yeah. From Calcutta, yes. I was actually thinking that maybe it's Anirban, but Anirban moved because of his wife was also moving. I mean, it's not because his wife was moving, but like that was a complementary reason along with it.
Catalyst.
Yeah.
Of sorts.
I moved because I was coming to Bombay every 2 months and then I was shelling out money.
Yeah, we used to meet at, you remember we used to do that Andheri East mein there was a Zook karke venue you had come to.
Zook, yeah. That was my first open mic.
Yeah, and it was horrible. And it was right in the middle of Ganesh Chaturthi.
I can't tell you how scared I was when I saw you and Bhavesh Ilani because you both on the day of the mic, like okay, so like the mic starts, okay, it's gonna start, and then you guys are writing on the paper, okay, मैं क्या joke करूँगा, and then you're writing a joke there, and I'm like, wow. That is incredible. How many open mics have you done?
But that's probably the last time I ever wrote jokes on paper.
Same here, man.
When you do all that mehnat and then you do Zook, you realize there needs to be a more efficient way. Oh man. But I think this is a very seminal moment in comedy history. Like, because it's the first time I think it becomes a legitimate industry when you hire your own people. Like in the sense that a comic hires a comic.
Yeah.
And that becomes like a foot in door for that comic to come to the city and then start.
I feel like I was one of the people who was not popular yet, who moved to Bombay. So that was the opening sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Because before me, Kenny Kanan Biswa had moved already.
But they had moved with,
yeah, but like they were moving with some amount of popularity with them.
Yeah.
Because Pretentious had happened then. So they could survive. So like for me, financially, it was just like, I'll be able to pay my rent and that's it. And Bombay...
Yeah, I can imagine.
Not really...
Yeah, that's what I tell our producer also.
Yeah.
Don't even live in Bombay.
Yeah.
Live in Vasai. Don't bother.
There are people, but even though like even if today like there are comics from other cities who are sitting down and then they're like, I'm thinking about moving to Bombay, and then they're like, what are your opinions on moving to Bombay now? Because this has been an ongoing thing wherever you go. Right? They always ask. And then I tell them the same thing no matter what. Like, if अगर कल हो सकता है तो कल हो जाएगा. जब हो सकता है जब कर.
अगर पैसा है और तेरे से.
Whenever you can, just do it.
And I always encourage comics to get jobs to do it. Like, I think a lot of people think that when they move to Mumbai, they need to only be doing comedy.
Yeah.
But that's not gonna be possible unless you're, already selling tickets and stuff.
Yeah.
So, you have to be in that mind space of like, okay, I'll do a job, I'll do comedy. Like, just like everybody else did until they could manage it, right?
I'm so sorry, but I have a feeling I'm one of the only few exceptions who probably started doing that. Because I started doing stand-up when I was not doing a job.
But then you also did writing, like you didn't do just stand-up is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? The ability to rely financially purely on stand-up.
When I was in Calcutta, yes, but not in Bombay.
Yeah, right. So
Bombay, I was just doing a writing thing.
So that's, I think that's a
in Bombay, it's
Wait, तो करना ही चाहिए writing.
करना ही पड़ेगा.
और तुम सीख भी लोगे कुछ अच्छा.
बहुत मुश्किल है. Unless you have some money coming in with stand-up only, it's very difficult to survive in Bombay just on live stand-up. It's not.
Yeah.
I think there's still a grind left for people, and then it's still. That's what when I tell people that कल हो सकते हो तो कल हो जाओ because. Like a year later, it'll be even tougher.
Yeah.
Because there's more number of people.
Yeah.
So day before yesterday, I think or whatever, I was talking to someone from one of my managers, and they were telling that 65 cities stand-up has actively happened. In India, 65 cities.
Counting, tier 2 and tier 3.
These are places where not one-off shows have happened, but like more than one-time shows have happened. 65.
Gorakhpur and where all, dude? Like
Jabalpur.
Every year, I've done a few shows in Jabalpur.
Yeah.
Wow. I think it's one of the nicest things to happen because every year I get to go to 4 more tier 2 cities,
Yeah.
And initially it used to be like, oh, you can go here for a college show, but don't even imagine, not even conceivable that you can go.
No.
And now I go for a college show and then I also do a secret show the same night.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
I don't even have to list it anymore. I just put it on my Instagram and oh god,
if
it's
like 10 people come here if you want or whatever.
Yeah, and that's good enough for me. And if I want to do a public show, then also so many more options have opened up. Like just Jabalpur is enough. Gorakhpur, I didn't even know Gorakhpur. Like it
exists.
And in our urban bubble, we don't know shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking sitting at home, कि Bombay में बैठ के Guwahati में क्या ही होता होगा. Like Guwahati is like 3 huts and a goat, right? Like and then you get there and you're like, oh, okay, firstly I'm an idiot, and secondly, great, chalo public show.
Right. Yeah, I also feel like, but like I'm not very keen on doing public shows in these cities till now. Like also, like I can see there are people who are touring and doing shows over there, and right now like getting in audiences and everything. But I'm not very keen on going there and doing that for the simple reason that maybe I'm not gonna get so many people right now. Not everyone can get so many people in Jabalpur or something.
Well, that's an interesting point. What's your number for that?
So if you're doing a secret show for 10 people or something, that's what you're saying.
So
that's actually not a bad idea. I've never thought about it, but there are times when I feel like if I want to try with 10 people, I like a urban audience more than a Jabalpur audience. But if I'm just there, might as well. It's not like अगर मिल रहा है तो मैं ना करूँगा, but I won't actively hunt it.
A lot of these places, I think it's counterintuitive in some sense because I also used to feel the same way. I'm not gonna sell tickets. It's not gonna make me any money. What am I doing with my time? But then those markets are so underserviced that you invariably get
A lot of people.
A lot of people, because they're just like, oh, I would love to. Anything is better than Jabalpur. Right?
One more thing I've felt is that most of the tier 2 cities, when you go perform over there, like I've performed a few times. But like they always go really great. Like it's super fun and everything. But I feel like, you know, I'm there and I've entertained them and whatever, it's done. But I don't experiment much over there. I feel like I'm sticking to the basics. I'm going on a auto-tune thing. That I'm going to do my stuff. People are going to have a good time. I'm going to have a good fun time. Get some pictures taken and that's it, done. That's it.
I'm envious of this. Because I've never been able to do that. I can't write like
stuff which is very relatable to a tier 2 city.
No, as in, if I write an hour, I know 20% of the hour, any given night, somebody will not like.
Okay.
Like so then what ends up happening is after the first round of the tour, and when I go in the second round of the tour, then I know कि ये side पे ना ये दो joke निकाल के ये दो joke डाल दे.
Right.
So then it becomes like this thing.
I do feel like this mild touching that there's like a little bit of how much it will be perceived if I'm doing a set in Mumbai or doing it in Jabalpur. There is a difference at the times.
100%.
And then there are times because you'll be doing mostly shows in urban audiences, so you want to develop it according to this audience. But then you go to Jabalpur and you might find a misfit over there.
इसमें भी एक मेरे को बहुत
interesting. हंसी आएगी but like kill नहीं होगा वैसा.
इसमें क्या होता है कि at least in my experience, the audience I get in tier 2, tier 3 is way younger than the audience I get in tier 1.
Sure.
So it drops by a good 5 years when I go to Jabalpur.
Okay.
So then I really can't talk about the nuances of consent in ST with 18-year-olds. But then I also feel like that's the perfect crowd to talk about the nuances of consent with.
Okay.
You know, because that's the person who's gonna be using it the most.
Needing it,
and then it becomes a different kind of fun, you know, because for a lot of what I do is argumentative. Like a lot of what you do is observational and then making an argument based on that observation. Mine is always argument followed by observation. Like this is my argument and these are my points to prove
whatever I'm saying.
So that is very fun to do in a Jabalpur, because now these kids don't understand what I'm saying. So explaining the concept becomes another 2 minutes, 3 minutes that gets added into the show.
And that's fun too.
Oh,
I feel like, you know, there are it's fun and all to do that. But like I have a few biases with certain shows, like tier 2 mein perform karna. Like I said, like, you know, if the opportunity presents itself, I do it, but I don't actively hunt for them. Same thing happens for like college shows. Somehow I actually enjoy doing corporate shows more than college shows. And I feel like corporate mein people are listening. They're there, they decide. If I can get them, then that's up to me. Make no mistake, like obviously college shows get better reactions, they're much louder, they're very energetic, and then they love you much more, they hoot for you and everything. But I enjoy doing corporate shows a little more. I still will do a college show, I'd never say no to it. But I feel like college students have this thing, like, you know, you go there and then you say something, and then college students just like, I feel like any college show you do now, you go there, you go up on stage, it's a hunt कि हम पहली बार कब करेंगे. They love doing they love doing that. There are times when I just scold them like क्या हो इसमें हो गया, and then they're like then they come get you. Now you can't beat them, right? They're a crowd.
I love that about them. And I, over the years I've struggled with colleges because the kind of stuff I do also, colleges tend to have restrictions. Now I have 45 minutes for colleges, which is about colleges. And doing college shows and censorship in college shows, and I like, they're like, oh, you know, the VC will be sitting, don't cuss. I'm like, no, we'll have a conversation with the VC. You know, and that becomes really interactive. So the trick for me was, let's make this as interactive as we can, and that makes it a little more fun for me. Corporate shows are not fun for me under any circumstance ever, never. Like in fact, in Kolkata show, they put me in a hotel. You know the hotel near the airport where all the corporate shows happen? That hotel. There's one hotel. I didn't live there. I lived in another hotel near the hotel which had reception on 3rd floor. Then I went to the show. The show is like, so there's a girl doing like suggestive dancing before me. And then after that, there is another girl asking uncles like raunchy-ish-esque questions.
Corporate show, right?
Some uncle ho gaye. And मेरे को brief दिया है कि पूरा clean ये वो. So I'm already like, and Pratik Kedia is there, so he's just come to hang out. And so I'm like, okay, can I just have the money first, please? Can we make sure the money is in this thing? So then I go on stage. I'm 30. they tell me the most beautiful thing someone can tell you before going on stage.
Yeah.
220. तो मैं तो एकदम खुश कि 20 मिनट में सेम अमाउंट ऑफ पैसा मिल रहा है. 10-12 minutes of bombing later, the organizer comes ऐसा with a piece of paper जिसमें ball pen पे लिखा है कुछ. How do I read a ball pen thickness from stage?
Okay. So like a teleprompt or something?
No, like
what is?
ऐसा
he's holding a placard.
हाँ, not even placard, notebook में लिखा है उसने बस. And I can't tell the difference between the ruled notebook and what is written with a ball pen.
What does he want you to read out?
So I'm guessing he goes to the back of the room.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he comes in front. He talks to the bosses second time. I'm guessing. I'm like, can you just tell me what it is? And then he says, he holds it up, walks to me, holding it up. It says, do non-veg. Okay. And then he makes me lean down and says into the mic, do more non-veg. And goes backstage. Now I have 5 minutes to suddenly go like, okay, fuck my mom and dad, learn की बात करते हैं. There's no hope. There's no scope out.
This is a corporate show?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty unusual. Like corporate shows usually want it clean and myself.
Yeah, it's a very new thing for me. That people first thing.
I have like for me, 90% of my corporate shows have actually done very well. Like, close to
material is very.
It's very clean.
Nice.
Very clean.
It's also I feel like your material is way better than mine. Mine is always divisive.
No, I feel like if it's argumentative वाला चीज ना, like I think corporate setting and college setting वो वाला फर्क तो आएगा थोड़ा सा. Like mine is more it's more digestible to any audience which is just कि हाँ ठीक है, even if I don't care, I don't mind listening for a bit.
Yeah.
But argumentative में I might have get opinions coming out in my head and like fuck it, I'm gonna go have a drink now. It's enough for me. So yeah.
Yeah, that's especially the throwaway stuff, no? Like that one, and we are like, we are all club comics, we keep going doing 30-40 sitters for the most part of your day, and or rather of your month or whatever. So you are used to that quick cut, and then you can do a lot of throwaway lines, this, that, cut. You can't do that in a bigger setting also, like in a college show. तो अगर throwaway line तो throwaway ही है, कोई नहीं सुनने वाला है, क्योंकि वो ओ में निकल जाता है.
But I love my current favorite rooms to perform like are those 30-40 seaters.
Stand-up plans,
like 30-40 seaters, very up close. And it feels like you can just smile and then just do this and then there's a laugh because in the context of it, it's funny why you paused, why you do that, and it's very personable.
Yeah,
it's cozy. So I really like that. But I feel like I don't know if how much of it gets lost in an auditorium because I don't do auditoriums as often. But when I do, I mean, like they're fun, but I feel like they're not as personable as.
No, re-gear करना पड़ता है दिमाग को actually.
Yeah, I feel थोड़ा सा है, there's a little bit of a twitching to it that how you're gonna do it, how much you're gonna pause. Yeah. It's most of the times it's just like I know that यहाँ तक हंसी आएगी and then I'm gonna go. Yeah. दिख रहा है कि ये dip आ रहा है हंसी में हल्का सा, then I'm saying the next line. But I still feel like there's जब वो होता है ना पास में होते हैं, then I don't care. I can stay for like 6 seconds and just do this and like गर्दन थोड़ी सी ऐसे हो रही है. नहीं खैर ठीक है हाँ बात करते हैं आगे. Like I can't do that when I'm in a auditorium.
One person who does that, who does it really well, who I think who kind of got thrust into auditoriums and then you realize how good he is at them is Bassi. Bassi is so much like Bassi like you see him on an auditorium and like he belongs here only. This is where he belongs. He doesn't belong in a club. He should be in an arena.
Yeah.
He has that.
It's so tight, like
and just the body language.
Yeah.
That assertion of like, hey guys, we're gonna have a good time and I'm gonna make sure we have a good time. Chuck that fart like is that what I'm feeling.
And it's a. He has a really tight set, by the way.
Yeah.
Like I remember.
हर line पे applause break यार.
Like I saw his last couple of bits. Just I think he has like some 25 millions in 2 videos or something. It's insane numbers. He's one of the outliers of a regular trend, I'm sure. So, but just I was seeing his bits, like there's just non-stop laugh, such tight material.
Such tight material, and I think
really fun.
It's also
and very nice guy to meet. Very personable.
I've asked him beyond this. Hopefully, he'll also come.
Yeah, very nice guy.
As comics, we are so lucky because
stand-up is
the best.
I think the entertainment to time spent ratio is the highest in stand-up. I feel.
Highest. You're
like for me right now, I feel like it's one of the. Like you go to watch any comedian. If you go watch a stand-up show for 1 hour, there's a good chance like around 30 minutes to minimum, no matter what. Even if you don't like the comic, 30 minutes you might find funny.
Yeah.
So that's But if you go to watch a movie which is bad,
yeah.
And very honestly, like, think about it. How many good
movies have you seen lately?
Yeah, like
and
of the last
of them you
10
have to
movies
watch.
that you saw, how many did you like?
Man, how many movie watching has stopped being a social experience for most people. Yeah, you're sitting on your phone and watching. Yeah, there's something about being in a room with people and just like becoming something greater for a second.
Yeah.
Which is why you all should come for shows, guys.
Exactly.
If you want, you can.
By the way, live and digital. Okay, so this I've said a bunch of times in my Instagram and a bunch of other places. But people have to understand, all the people who are sitting and just consuming videos of stand-up and really like it. Like, there are people who are ardent fans of stand-up comedy,
but only in the videos.
But only in the video format. Also because there are people in tier 2 where itna live shows nahi hote.
Yeah.
But if you're in an urban setup or if you get a chance to see a live show, it's so much better.
Yeah.
It's very basic difference. And I want to tell it technically also. Like, say for example, you remember, like, there were times when we used to download music and all. There's a very famous, like, very popular example or whatever, like, popular is like, I give this example all the time.
Yeah.
When you're downloading music, you see a bitrate over there, right?
Yeah.
That this is the bitrate. That's the amount of information per second
that can
of
be
the
transferred.
sound
Yeah.
that has been captured, which is being given to you.
Yeah.
So when you're playing it back, there is either a 256 bits of yes and no.
Kilobytes.
Ki haan, itna high, itna low, ye note, ye note. That's the information that you're getting. 256 informations of yes and no's per second is what you're getting. Now this is a part of what was captured by the microphone, which was capturing the actual sound, which was infinite bandwidth.
Exactly.
Maybe, and imagine, it's like, we can see only 400 to 700 nanometer of light, right?
Even
so sound
with the spatial stuff, even our spatial stuff. The feeling of being in a room, the feeling of the chest, like the
exactly.
Like you listen to EDM on your mobile and EDM in a club.
Exactly. You can listen to live music much longer than you can listen to music on this.
Absolutely.
You might get physically tired, but like it's much more soothing.
Yeah.
And the whole experience is so much more encompassing.
Yeah.
You'll feel so much more. Oh, the
fulfillment. It's that's the word. I think it's fulfillment. It's satisfaction.
It's a fulfilling feeling. Yeah. You can stay home and then watch a video and have like but at the same time notice the next time you do notice what the audience is doing in that video. They are losing their shit. Okay, so that's so much more.
That's the best case anyone can make for live versus YouTube.
Oh, it's analog versus digital. It's as simple as that. It's 100% go for live shows. You're gonna be blown away by the experience. Especially if there's a comic that you like, you must go watch the live shows. Don't just wait next video.
Stay back for after the show. You can take a photo and all that. You know,
absolutely.
people will do that also.
Absolutely.
But we will do it. And I get very stressed out with selfies after the show. Yeah. But I feel like it's part of the ticket also at the same time. Like if you bought a ticket, then I will take a photo with you.
I feel like I don't have an issue yet because I'm not as famous that I'll have like 700 people in a show and then 200 are there waiting to get a
Never.
Never. Thank God I'm not that good looking.
200 में से 25 लोग तो रुक जाते
हैं. So if there are 25 people, I don't mind actually. So usually like after a show, if there are like 100 people, then there are like 15 people who want to go get a picture with you. That's alright.
My only qualifier is wait 10 minutes after the show. I need to cool down and come out. I can't just I just got off. So now I have to make notes like ये joke नहीं चाहो वो नहीं हुआ. Then I can come and be a person with you. I don't want to be Akash with you.
Right. No, I get it, but I just feel like there are some people who are not fine. I can understand also. There are some people who are really popular, and then
I mean like Bo Burnham quit stand up only because of the anxiety of people walking up to him and be like, that's he's taken a sabbatical, a long sabbatical.
I know,
Bo Burnham, if you've not
be happy. Be happy.
Be happy on Netflix.
On the even if you like don't like a lot of foreign comics.
Make happy.
Make happy. Is it? Make happy. Just Google like Bo Burnham, Kanye West.
Yeah. Oh, what a great
That last bit is by far one of the best performances. Like when I see that performance happening on the video, I wish like if I was there, that could have been one of the best
moments of my
life.
Oh.
It's one of the best live performances that you'll ever see of something entertaining.
And while our videos can capture 256 bits, his captures 512.
Yeah, at best.
Hey man, thank you for coming for this. It's been a really fun time.
Super fun, man.
We discussed a lot of very geeky things. I'm very glad.
Yeah. I'm glad that happened actually. This is so important that people know the difference between live and this.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we talked this out. And Something nice to talk about rather than just कि यार ये क्या हो रहा है
Yeah, I feel like if you make stuff which has nothing to do with current affairs, no, तो थोड़ा आदमी खुश हो जाता है.
Absolutely.
Because current affairs बहुत दुखी है.
Nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
You can follow Vaibhav all over the internet on YouTube and on Instagram and wherever else you follow people except the street. That's very rude. You have a video coming out.
Yeah, a bunch of them. I'm releasing a few videos in January, February, March.
Alright, so they've been coming out while this has been coming out. We'll have links underneath for sure. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Like, subscribe, share, lauda, lasun.
Karo, please karo.